Book 2, The Book of the Traveler of the Worlds. Canto 7, The Descent into Night, page 214. It scrambled into the pit to dig for truth, and lighted its search with the subconscient's flares. Thence bubbling rose, sullying the upper air, the filth and festering secrets of the abyss. This it called positive fact and real life. This now composed the fetid atmosphere. A wild beast passion crept from secret night, to watch its prey with fascinating eyes. Around him like a fire with sputtering tongues, there lolled and laughed a bestial ecstasy. The air was packed with longings brute and fierce, crowding and stinging in a monstrous swarm, pressed with a noxious hum into his mind. Thoughts that could poison nature's heavenliest breath, forcing reluctant lids, assailed the sight. Acts that revealed the mystery of hell. All that was there was on this pattern made. A race possessed inhabited those parts. A force demoniac lurking in man's depths, that heaves suppressed by the heart's human law, awed by the calm and sovereign eyes of thought, can in a fire and earthquake of the soul arise and, calling to its native night, overthrow the reason, occupy the life, and stamp its hoof on nature's shaking ground. This was for them their being's flaming core. A mighty energy, a monster god. Hard to the strong, implacable to the weak. It stared at the harsh, unpitying world it made, with the stony eyelids of its fixed idea. Its heart was drunk with a dire hunger's wine. In others' suffering felt a thrilled delight, and of death and ruin the grandiose music heard. To have power, to be master, was sole virtue and good. It claimed the whole world for evil's living room. Book 2, The Book of the Traveler of the Worlds. Canto 7, The Descent into Night, page 215. Its party's grim totalitarian reign. The cruel destiny of breathing things. All on one plan was shaped and standardized, under a dark dictatorship's breathless weight. In street and house, in councils and in courts, beings he met who looked like living men, and climbed in speech upon high wings of thought, but harbored all that is subhuman, vile, and lower than the lowest reptile's crawl. The reason meant for nearness to the gods, and uplift to heavenly scale by the touch of mind, only enhanced by its enlightening ray. Their inborn natures were a monstrosity, often a familiar visage studying, joyfully encountered at some dangerous turn, hoping to recognize a look of light. His vision warned by the spirit's inward eye, discovered suddenly hell's trademark there, or saw with the inner sense that cannot err, in the semblance of a fair or virile form, the demon and the goblin and the ghoul. An insolence reigned of cold stone-hearted strength, mighty, obeyed, approved by the Titan's law, the huge laughter of a giant cruelty, and fierce glad deeds of ogre violence. In that wide cynic den of thinking beasts, one looked in vain for a trace of pity or love. There was no touch of sweetness anywhere, but only force and its acolytes, greed and hate. There was no help for suffering, none to save. None dared resist or speak a noble word. Armed with the ages of tyrannic power, signing the edicts of her dreadful rule, and using blood and torture as a seal, darkness proclaimed her slogans to the world. A servile blinkered silence hushed the mind.